everybody. So today is officially day 4 of the keto diet, and I am so sorry that I look really shiny and weird. But anyway, so about, the first 4 days. So the first 4 days has, great is the long and short of it. As of this morning, I've lost 4.5 pounds. I'm feeling good. I have some energy back. I learned so much about me as a person, my discipline, my commitment. I've learned about my body too, and what I'm putting into it and how it responds to what I'm putting into it. And then I've also learned a little bit about the people around me in terms of, you're always going to have haters going to hate. And, I'm learning that I need to do what's best for me because, something in me tells me to do something. I should just go ahead and do it. So let me start off with some of the chapters. So some of the great things that have happened. Let me first say that the bulletproof coffee I have officially mastered, I would say. So the trick is, for me, I like 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of the MCT oil, some whipping cream, not even quite a full tablespoon, and some of the swerve sugar, and then putting it all in the blender and pouring it into my mug, and it tastes like a cappuccino, it's just decadent. It's so good. It's my favorite part of the morning, every morning. So I mastered that yesterday and recreated it again today. And that is a great start to my breakfast. Another thing that I have started doing is before I go to bed at night, I take the Keto Drive and I put it in my water. I measure everything out, let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and then in the morning while I'm getting dressed, as soon as I wake up, I drink that so that I can get those ketones right into my body and start from there. I tested to see what my ketone levels were last night, which according to some websites, I probably shouldn't have done that because it wasn't accurate. But it has such specifics of when to test it. It was like an hour after you wake up, before you've had any caffeine, before you've done this, before you've done this, but before you do that. It was too restrictive. And I took it last night before I went to bed, and it just said that I had trace level of ketones. So I probably need to test it to get a little bit more accurate results. But I do the Keto Drive first thing in the morning, and it kind of gives me, I noticed it this morning, it makes me kind of feel like a high feeling a little bit, very loosely, kind of like that airy, supercharged feeling. It's a different feeling that I'm trying to get used to. It doesn't feel, it's weird, so I can't say that I don't like it or do like it. It's just weird and different. But I have been using the bulletproof coffee as breakfast now. So I wake up about 9:30 or 10. I do the Keto Drive. Then I do the MCT coffee. And pickles have become my new favorite thing. Oh my gosh. Pickles make the world a better place. They come in little containers. I have one here with me. Let me see if I can show you, because I keep pickles with me at all times now because they're so good. But they come in these little things, and they're called Oh Snap. And they are so, they're just regular dill pickles, cut up into slices. And I eat those in the morning with my coffee, pickles and coffee. I know that sounds like a weird combination, but it gives me the energy that I need, the satiation, and it just tastes really good. Plus it relieves any headache that I have. I don't know, it's just a great combination for me. So that's become my standard breakfast. I did the intermittent fasting that one day, and it actually went really well. Oh, and then I've also, in other news, I tried out the whole eating out on the keto diet, and it was actually not that bad. I actually would recommend it. When in a bind, it wasn't nearly as scary as I had thought it was going to be. So for lunch, I had chicken and steak fajitas from a Mexican restaurant. No beans, no rice, no tortillas. But I did do the steak and chicken fajitas, and I limited the amount of the peppers that I ate because I had read that those are high in carbs. And then for dinner, I went out with some friends, and we went to Houston's, and they do steak. And I did a prime rib with broccoli and a salad, and I told them, no carbs. So they were really accommodating and making sure that there was even no croutons on the salad. And I actually brought my own dressing just to make sure that I knew what I was eating and I wasn't going to be in a situation, to ruin anything. So those were my 2 meals that I ate that day, and the ribeye was huge. If you look on my Instagram, I'm going to post it. Auburn Angel 13 is the Instagram, but the ribeye was huge. It ended up being 2 meals. It could be a whole another third meal. It was ginormous. It was like 12 ounces. With the broccoli, it was delicious. So it ended up turning out pretty well. Some other things that I have gathered, I drink 50 ounces of water a day at a minimum. I'm thinking it actually gets more up to 70 or 80 with the Keto Drive, the protein shakes, things of that nature. I didn't work out yesterday, and I still lost some weight. Not a full pound like I did the day before when I did work out, but I did lose some weight. But overall, I'm thinking that, the first 3 days, my first 4 days was really supposed to be my real tester period if I could do this long term. And I would definitely say that I'm going to move this forward to another week. So we're going to do this for a whole week now. In terms of lifestyle change, I honestly can't say that I necessarily miss the carbs. Like I don't find myself craving things at all, really. I've been really experimental in the kitchen. I made this great dessert that I found on Pinterest. It is sugar-free Jell-O pudding with heavy whipping cream, and you just whip it together, and it is so good. It has like this mousse-like texture, and like 1 spoonful is 103 calories, and it's actually really filling. And I kind of nibbled on that. It's like 1 or 2 grams of carbs, no sugar, but it's delicious. A+. Like it satisfied that sweet tooth. I have a whole bowl sitting there in the refrigerator, and I just go in and grab a spoonful. It's great. I've also made the almond flour pancakes last night. I was not a fan. Granted, I didn't really follow the recipe. I just kind of eyeballed it and thought I knew what I was doing. And I don't think I added enough water because it was just really grainy and dry, and I didn't like it. And I also don't like that I don't have a syrup that I can use yet, because I think a perfect breakfast
Police reported
would
ahead.
be, sorry if you could hear that, I think the perfect breakfast would be pancakes and bacon or pancakes and sausage, but I don't have a syrup yet. So that's going to be on my list today to find while I'm out grocery shopping. And I've decided for my meal prep this week, especially since tomorrow will be my first day back at work, and as I said, work has temptations, but I've noticed that I don't get hungry. My body starts giving me signals of, hey, we need to eat something. So like I just left a conference, a women's conference, and I did my usual routine this morning of the Keto Drive, the bulletproof coffee, and the pickles, and I was good. And it started at 11 and it went until 2. So I was like, okay, this should be okay in terms of I should be full. I didn't know if I was going to make it until 2 o'clock, but I did. And while I was there, they said that they were going to have brunch. So I was thinking brunch means, they should at least have some chicken or some meats, that I can eat. Get there, it's all breads. It's breakfast croissants, donuts, crackers. They had Chick-fil-A, like the breakfast sandwiches, like the breakfast minis. And I was like trying to look through really quickly because I didn't want to be rude and not get anything, but I was also trying to be cognizant of, what has carbs, what it's okay to eat. So I went with the Chick-fil-A breakfast minis, and I didn't eat the bread. I just ate the nugget out of it. And so I got 2 of those, and the 2 was fine. Like I nibbled on those. I wasn't ever hungry. Towards the end, I was starting to feel like my brain was kind of like, hey, we need something to eat. And I had my water, so I kind of went through a large majority of my water. But
exit right to exit 46B, I-20 East.
But while I was there, I was never like, oh my gosh, I'm starving. Oh my gosh, I have to eat, like I have been in the past. In the past, I would be starving. I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to eat right now. Like I'd feel my blood sugar dropping. I start shaking. I wouldn't even be able to focus or concentrate on anything that I was doing. But with this, I don't actually get hungry, so I don't find myself focusing on food nearly as much as I have in the past. And I think that even as I go, I eat to just meet the need. Like, my body's like, hey, we're hungry, and I'm like, okay, let me go get some a turkey deli slice, some mayonnaise, some cheese, and put some jalapenos and peppers, sweet peppers in there, and one roll up, and eat that, and I'm completely fine. My body's like, oh, there we go, we got something. But it's just like, I don't worry about food nearly as much. And the last point that I'm going to talk on is doing what you feel like is best for you. So as I said in the first video, I've been on an up and down weight loss journey, and I am happy, relatively from where I am in terms of my weight. I love the way that I look. I think I look, nice. I like my body, and I'm always trying to do like minor improvements, like gain some muscle or tone up, or there's always something. And when I first started inquiring about the keto diet, people were like, oh my gosh, it's so dangerous. Oh my gosh, don't do it. Oh my gosh, it doesn't work. And there's all these Debbie Downer negative things, and I'm like, okay, let me go do my own research, because sometimes people just don't want you to be successful at things because they don't want to do it, so they don't want you to do it either. But I'm so glad that I took things into my own hands and said, you know what, this is something I'm interested in. Let me do the research. Let me figure out what's best for me and go from there. And I think this is one of the best experiences in terms of discipline. People are like, how are you losing weight eating cheeseburgers and bacon? And I'm just like, there's more to it than that. I do love a good bacon cheeseburger with blue cheese and ranch dressing and a salad. Like, that's one of my favorite meals right now. But with that, it's like, I'm not sorry that that's what's working for me. This is what's working for my body right now, and I'm sticking to it. The eating healthy, eating the baked chicken and the sweet potatoes and the broccoli, and that wasn't working for my body. My body was gaining weight, and so this is something that I have changed, and what do you know, I'm getting the results that I'm looking for. The scale is moving down every day. When I wake up and I take my weight, it's lower than the day before, which before, even with me working out, it was a hit or miss. Is it going to be lower? Is it going to be higher? It's either up by a pound or down by 3 ounces. Like, it wasn't anything substantial. So now it's like I'm losing whole pounds. I started off at 191, and this morning I was at 187. So it's like I'm losing weight, and I'm okay with that, and I love it. And I don't know how long I'll stay on this. I haven't set like a time frame. I'll do it until it gets too hard, or I'm not interested, or it's not convenient for my lifestyle anymore. But for right now, this is what's working. I'm not craving carbs. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I wish I could just have this, or this. I'm not doing that. I'm actually satiated. I'm eating things that I want to eat, things I haven't been eating. So the only thing that makes it difficult is, like, right now I'm out and I'm hungry. Well, not really hungry. I'm like, I need to eat something, because the only real food I've had today is some pickles. So I'm like, I need to eat something substantive. So I saw on Instagram and on Pinterest, I'm gonna go to Wendy's and I'm gonna get a bunless burger and have them hold the ketchup and the mayonnaise and the mustard, and make my own little meal. And they also have salads. So I'm using what I have and my knowledge to work for me, which I think is a really important key factor to this. You get the education and you make it work. So nobody can make a decision for you. Nobody's going to be able to determine what's best for you. And if you feel like something is best for you, I recommend doing it. I've learned that I trust myself more than other people. I take other people's feedback, but if something inside of me is telling me to do something, I do it. Why? Because I haven't ever let myself down in terms of doing something. I've only benefited. I do my research. I understand why I'm doing it. I make a plan and I go for it. And then I adjust and move with the flow and the results from there. But I don't, who knows? There could be negative effects from this ketone diet. There very well could be. I haven't read of very many that weren't worth the results, so I haven't really focused on that. I haven't experienced any of those negative results, so for me, it's great. For me, I feel good. I do have that tiredness sometimes, especially at night. My body is just like, oh, we're ready to go to bed. I will say that in terms of my sleeping, I feel like I sleep better. Like, it's a more restful, peaceful sleep. I don't have to take anything to help me go to sleep anymore. Well, I just reduced the dosage. Like I was having to take a whole pill, and now I'm only taking a half. So there are definitely benefits.